Boom.
I, no. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. All right, we're ready for item 3.03, and that's our superintendent's comments. So, Dr. Seifert, I'm turning it over to you.
Thank you, Dr. Towers. Welcome to tonight's Board of Education meeting. Before we get started, if you are a mother, stand up. Let's give them a hand. Happy Mother's Day to you all. That's 3/4 of the room.
Well,
We love it. And I think my mom's watching, so happy Mother's Day, Mom. She'll text me in just a second, your tie needs to be straight. Like, stop texting me, Mom. Welcome, we're glad you're here. It's awesome to have a full house tonight. So it's been an exciting, action-packed few weeks as we head closer and closer to the last day of school. Our schools are filled with students working hard on standardized testing and participating in a plethora of activities and events. We have had and will continue to until graduation. We've had concerts, plays, recognition nights, various student events, and then our spring sports teams are in conference, or I should say district play, state play now as well. So we've just got, I agree with that. We've got a ton going on. I want to thank our staff and our students. Hang in there, let's stay strong, let's finish our standardized testing. How many days left, teachers, staff? 11.
not
That's
that you're counting.
That was like a hesitation. Usually somebody can just, So as always, we like to say go Pirates and go Warriors, and we are here fully supporting all of our students and all that they do. Speaking of students, St. Charles West has a student. His name is Dominic Metlock, and he was recognized recently as a Missouri Association of Secondary School Principals by them as one of Missouri's top 100 scholars. You can clap for that. What a fantastic recognition for Dominic. We're very, very proud of his accomplishment. In closed session tonight, the board approved 2 hires we would like to announce. First, Michaela Plummer-Shepard. She is not with us today because she is in Kansas City, but she will be our new communications coordinator starting in July. Michaela is currently, like I said, in a similar position in the Belton School District in the Kansas City area. So she's moving across the state, but she is moving back home. She is a pirate. She is an SCHS alum, and we're excited about the great things that she's going to do in our communications department. So we're excited about that. Now you're asking, what is the fantastic man in the pink shirt going to do? Would you say it's pink, Chris? Salmon, thank you. Chris will be leaving us in July. He has a new position with the Rockwood School District, so let's give Chris a hand. Thank you to Chris for all that he has done, and he is surely going to miss these board meetings, I can tell you that much. Right, Chris? Good answer. So, we do have another hire, and she is in the room. Miss Nicole, please stand up. Let's give her a hand. This is our new special education coordinator, and she is not new to us. She is part of our family at Jefferson, our special education department chairperson, and we're looking forward to Nicole joining us as she's just going to do an awesome job in this role. So, Nicole, congratulations. And I think this happened after our April meeting, so I just wanted to, and we've done a lot of congratulations on this, like on social media and emails, but I want to say congratulations again to our very own Tina Adams in our business department. She was named the MOASBO Support Staff Person of the Year for the state of Missouri, so way to go, Tina. We're so proud of you. You can clap for her. Now, that's the good news. Let's get to some not so great news. And as many of you are aware, Governor Parsons signed Senate Bill 727 into law on Tuesday evening. The passage of SB 727 in its entirety is certainly a loss for our school district and districts like ours across the state. SB 727 places future unfunded mandates on school districts with little assurance that new or even existing resources will be available to assist districts to pay for the cost. Furthermore, while SB 727 promises significant increases in school funding, the bill ties the growth in the state's education saving accounts, or ESAs, or vouchers to future foundation formula increases. There is a looming negative impact of vouchers and charter school expansion to accredited school districts. The financial impact of SB 727 will have on the state and local school district budgets is very real. Missouri schools are living the impact of the teacher retention and recruitment crisis. There is a shared and a widespread belief that increasing teacher pay is obviously an important step to solving it, but this bill is not the solution that will positively impact the SCSD with this important issue. What I do know as a school leader is this: we have a voice and we also have a choice. We cannot stand and should not stop advocating, and I will not stop advocating for what is best for all students, especially here in the city of St. Charles School District. We will continue to stay positive and do all that we can to ensure all students in the SCSD are reached, taught, and empowered. We also stand with and fully support our teachers and staff in our mission. We have worked very hard tonight we got great presenters here tonight, correct, ladies and gentlemen? Yeah, it's gonna be an unbelievable, I can't wait. It's gonna be a great meeting. Parents and Teachers Program Review tonight, CTE Program Review, Technology Planning Program Review, a lot of reviews, so get ready. Curriculum Guide Adoptions for 24-25. We're also gonna talk about our Lewis and Clark Newfoundland Place Homeowner Association and Board of Education rep. Who's gonna get that? I can't wait. And then we also have policy changes for second reading, and then we also have the great financial report from Mr. Shields at the end. I just want to encourage us to continue to go strong as we finish this year and continue to be all that we can for our students and our staff. And it's been a great year. Let's finish strong. Thank you.
Thank you. We're ready for item 3.04, which is board communications. We have none. Item 3.05, this is the time that we have audience comments. Heidi?
All regular and special meetings of the board shall be open to the public. Since the board desires to be a good listener and be responsive to the community, persons desiring to address the board may do so during the time so allotted on the agenda and according to established procedures. During the audience portion of each board meeting, patrons are invited by the president to speak for or against any proposal on the tentative agenda or on any other school concern. The individual is asked to identify him or herself, limit comments to a few minutes, and avoid discussing personalities. The president reserves the right to limit the number of presentations and/or length of comments. At the discretion of the president, patrons may be recognized at other times during the board meeting. The board is very interested in audience comments. According to board policy, members cannot respond during the actual meeting. The board will listen to audience comments. If necessary, additional follow-up will occur through district administrators.
Thank you. We have 4 cards this evening. Let's start with Brandon Kearns.
Good evening, Board of Education, Cabinet, and citizens of St. Charles School District. My name is Brendan Kearns. I'm the president of the St. Charles Education Association, the exclusive bargaining organization for certified employees and nurses in the district. There's a couple of things I want to highlight real quickly. It's Teacher Appreciation Week, so we want to give a shout out to all of our hardworking teachers in this district for everything that they put in every day. It is also School Nurses Appreciation Week as well, so a shout out to our school nurses too. Also, last month, we had 3 SCEA scholarship winners in our district. They are Ben Skikis, son of Jefferson teacher Jennifer Skikis, Addie Neiman's daughter of Administrative Intern Alicia Niemans, and Maggie Wheel, daughter of St. Charles West teacher Nancy Wheel. Finally, we'd just like to give our thanks to Central Office. We've had some great discussions in our labor management meetings this year. We get a break for a couple months, but we'll be back to those in September, and we are looking forward. I just want to wish everybody a great and safe summer. Thank you.
Thank you, Brendan. Kathy, I'll start.
Good evening and hello, Board and St. Charles School District Administration. I want to thank you also for recognizing the teachers and all staff during Teacher, Nurses, and Staff Appreciation Week, and thank you for the cake.
We all love cake.
We love cake. Although, with Dr. Seifert's email yesterday afternoon saying, see what the weather is, see when dismissal, we might have needed more cake if we had to stay. Anyway, I'd also like to say that we are finished with MAP testing. It's a great relief to teachers and everyone in the all buildings. Thank you. I want to thank you for letting CESA participate in the monthly labor management meetings. And I'd like to finish with 11 more get-ups. Thank you. Have a great summer. See you in September.
Thank you. Teresa Litznich.
Hello, I'm Teresa Linsnick, citizen in St. Charles School District. Two things, one bad, one good. Number one, some bad books in our school libraries. Number two, good sex ed curriculum. Two of us have been trying to clean up our school libraries of pervasively vulgar books with violent sexual acts portrayed in them in detail and with many, many vulgarities in the text. These books don't have your typical mention of rape. These books virtually rape the reader. The text is so graphic that in the last meeting, Shelley was stopped by board president mid-sentence while reading the book Push. I am not exaggerating. Shelley has done research and has found many books in our school libraries that are pervasively vulgar. Anyone with common sense can see that these books traumatize those who read them. I would not want my 20-year-old to experience reading such books. Push is at our St. Charles High School library. And there are many more titles in our school libraries that are pervasively vulgar that they basically mentally rape the reader. We're asking the school board to have a more active role in this. We're asking parents to have a more active role in looking at these books. And then number two, I wanted to say kudos to the curriculum developers for the health curriculum that we have that will be in the slideshow tonight, I assume. It's human sexuality, in the human sexuality section, and its abstinence is highlighted in the slideshow. Thank you, thank you. And Missouri State Statute 170.015 says, present abstinence from sexual activity as the preferred choice of behavior in relation to all sexual activity for unmarried pupils because it is the only method that is 100% effective in preventing pregnancy, sexual transmitted diseases, and emotional trauma associated with adolescent sexual activity, and advise students that teenage sexual activity places them at higher risk of dropping out of school because of the consequences of sexually transmitted diseases and unplanned pregnancy. I thank you for hearing me out, and I always pray for wisdom and courage for all of you. Last Thursday was the National Day of Prayer, and I'll try to send you the video of a former school principal who prayed a powerful prayer that day at the event here in St. Charles. Thank you.
Thank you, Teresa. Shelley Gowan.
Good evening, everybody. My name is Shelley Gowan, And I'm here to express some concerns regarding the meeting that I had last month with Dr. Towers, Dr. Draper, and Dr. Seifert, Teresa and I. First off, I want to express how disappointed I was and how I felt that, honestly, it was a waste of my time. I'm going to address something that Dr. Towers stated in reference of some pervasively vulgar books that are currently on our library shelves. We don't want to remove any books from our library just in case it may offend someone. Question. Sure, when do we allow pervasively vulgar, porn, and disgusting words that clearly cross the line on our shelves just because we don't want to offend someone? I'm offended, so you just offended me. Dr. Draper, this book you stated, Push, is a story about a girl who survived rape.
No. I've let that go too long. Part of what when we start with our disclaimer, you cannot talk about specific personalities.
Okay,
So
thank you.
You've already
Okay,
handled me.
I didn't realize that I had done
Well,
that.
it's spoken right before you come up.
Okay.
When you listen to the
Thank you.
disclaimer.
I apologize. This book you stated is stated about a girl who survived rape, incest, abuse, and how she overcame it. This book is not real. It's not based on a true story. The chances of it happening, to which the manner to which it was written, is nil. My question is, how is this educational? It was stated 3 times that we are the only 2 people, Teresa and I, that have issues with this book problem. Do you not think that parents care about the matter? I am working on filling empty chairs in this room, and I can promise you they will be occupied with very concerned parents. Where is the boundary? How far is too far? I looked online and cannot at all find how to challenge a book. What is the process? Okay, I can't find it, so I need some help. Please let me know what is the process. Here's why I want to challenge many books of this matter. Here is my definition of pervasively vulgar. He pulled out his dick and white cum stuff all. Okay,
Shelley.
I'm having a problem with you having a problem on what's in our books, but yet this is acceptable on our library shelves, but yet you shut me down. I don't understand why this is in, and this is the boundary, the borderline to some of the stuff that's in the book.
All right, Shelley.
Yes,
We
ma'am.
will not comment now.
Okay.
And some of the information that you are now saying is somewhat incorrect, and we are not going to correct you at this time. However, I am going to say that when you continue to bring up points and then ask what's the process, that we clearly explained to you processes.
You did. You said there was
And for you to say-
committee. Where is the committee? How do I go about? Because we have other people that want the opportunity to challenge a book.
Then the
Books.
the process, and it's a board policy, and board policy is right there. But I'm not going to engage in dialogue at this time, because that's not how this works. You were gavelled because what you are reading is text that someone could read, but in a public streamed forum like this, you're not going to be publicly reading and using any kind of language that you find vulgar. It isn't going to be allowed.
That's a double standard. I'm done.
Ma'am.
Thank you.
Thank you. Item 3.06, do I have a motion to amend or adopt the agenda?
Move to adopt the agenda as presented.
All those in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Amend is adopted. The consent agenda, for efficiency, the school board utilizes a consent agenda. Items placed on the consent agenda are routine in nature, are among the many decisions that the board has already determined are in the domain of the administration. Do I have a motion to approve the consent agenda?
I move to approve the consent agenda as presented.
All those in favor? Aye.
Aye.
Opposed? That passes. This is, oh, I'm sorry, I did, I moved right along. Before we proceed with the rest of our meeting, we take a break for those of you who would like to enjoy the rest of the evening, because it is a pretty day out, as opposed to yesterday. So a short break. I know, but I meant to do that.
Just say hello to everybody.
All right, we are continuing with our meeting. We're ready for item 6.01, and this is a presentation on parents as teachers review. Welcome.
I'm not nearly as nervous this time. 2 years ago, I was very, very nervous. Good evening to our school board and our central office team. My name is Sarah Sherwood. I'm your early childhood coordinator and Parents as Teachers coordinator, and it is truly my honor to talk about Parents as Teachers tonight. So that's one of our darling families who's also an educator in our district. So as you know, Parents as Teachers has 4 important components. Home visits, so all families enrolled have the option to receive home visits with a certified visitor. These can be monthly, every other month, or tailored to what a family needs. Then we have screenings. All families can participate in developmental screenings starting at 3 months of age through pre-K. This includes developmental screenings, vision, dental, and hearing. Now, you don't have to be a part of Parents as Teachers. Any family that comes our way, we will screen them, whether they just want to see where their child's at. They don't have to do all these things, but we offer them a screening as long as they live in our district. And then a resource connection. We connect families to a minimum of 1 resource connection each program year. And these can be resources in our area that serve the family. So for example, SCAD will give us safe sleep, pack and plays that we deliver to families, all sorts of different things. And then we do have group connections. All families can attend group connections. We also extend this to a lot of our preschool families. These are parent-child interactions as well as parent education night. And we just went to the Magic House. I think we had almost 400 kids and families. I saw one of our board members there. It was pretty fun. Okay, so I was told to make this short and sweet. We have a busy night, so this is probably the most important thing to bring it to your attention. We changed programs. We went back to becoming a Missouri curriculum partner. So Missouri has about 550 districts, and before we were a Blue Ribbon affiliate, and we decided to move to the Missouri curriculum and join about 540 other programs and parents as teachers. It just is a really great fit for a school district. And the reason we did that was we felt it was our responsibility as a school district to serve any family that asked for our services, as our program is designed to serve all families. As a school district program, we also recognize the importance of building a relationship with families in their school district. And in the effort to build this relationship, we want to increase our families' participation in parents as teachers, so then we can support their transition to early childhood as well as kindergarten readiness. And there's us. There's my team. Thanks, Chris. So this is very, very exciting. Because becoming a Missouri curriculum partner, we were able to expand our program, and we are continuing to expand. So the last time I was with you in 2022, we had served a total of 141 families and 168 children. We provided 248 developmental screenings, and of those screenings, 75 children had potential delays, and then 29 went on for further services. And then last year, we started to expand our program. It was a 2-year process, and we worked very, very hard as a team to do it with fidelity. And we increased to serving 191 families and 241 children. And then we were able to provide 301 developmental screenings. And of those 301, 85 children were identified with potential delays, and 26 children went on for further services. And then in our current school year, we are serving right now 220 families, 261 children, and these numbers with screening is something that I think is really amazing. We have done 376 developmental screenings, 129 children were identified with potential delays, and 74 went on for further services. So we know the power of early intervention, and seeing these numbers, we know we're getting children what they need. Okay, and then some program growth opportunities. You received our parent satisfaction surveys our last 2 years, and the survey indicated they would love our website to be updated with area resources, and Chris has already helped me do some of that. Thank you, Chris. And then our families shared that they enjoyed their time with their parent educators, so as we continue to expand, we'll keep looking at our numbers and our caseloads, seeing what families need. And then thank you for the opportunity for our families to access the clinic. So I'm really excited about how to promote that. That's a huge opportunity. Healthcare, finding reasonable and wonderful healthcare is hard for a lot of our families. So thank you. That's a huge deal. And then also our Parents as Teachers program continues to expand, and we want to keep partnering with our elementary schools and daycares. That has been the last 3 years, partnering with our principals has been wonderful. They have sent families for preschool as well as parents as teachers. We would like to continue to build that relationship with the counselors and social workers, just to identify families that are already enrolled, that if they have younger children at home that we aren't reaching yet. So finding a way to do that, and then continuing to promote our group connections and getting more families to come to those. And then, these pictures, can you handle them? They're so cute. Oh my gosh. And then one of the recommendations is, as we continue to grow our program, there is a possibility we would need to hire more parent educators. We completely minimized our wait list. That was one of the challenges we had as a Blue Ribbon affiliate, is we had a tremendous wait list. We have no one on the wait list right now. We are enrolling families constantly. Oh no, is that my timer? I was trying so hard, Mr. Omar.
You're finished. Please have a seat.
Oh my gosh. Oh my gosh. Thank you. I needed that. No. I promise I'm almost done. We will look at that, the financial feasibility. I know that Dr. Lewis and Mr. Shields, we worked together about increasing current parent educators, and so I may be coming back to you to hire and expand for more parent educators. And I think, and thank you. Thank you to our school board for joining home visits this year. I know a couple of you were able to attend them. I really appreciate that. You're welcome to come if you haven't been able to join yet. We are truly fortunate to have a school district and a school board that supports all of our students, including our littlest learners. And then I would love to thank my team, Cindy, Sherry, Tracy, Kathy, Annie, and Linda, for the tremendous hard work that you have done. It's an honor to present your work. I couldn't think of a better team.
Let's have them stand up.
Yeah.
Stand up. Let's give them a hand. They are an awesome team for sure.
That is it. What questions might you have for me?
I don't have any questions. First, I want to say I have been terrible about joining an extra parents as teachers session, but I have 3 young children. 2 of them have gone through ECC or been at ECC, so some of your pictures. And the water day today,
It was
fantastic.
so amazing.
Son loved it. And if you're wondering who the board member was who attended the Magic House, it was me. And we had a very big debate for a second of, it's kind of late, should we keep our youngest at home and send the other 2? It was literally for our youngest child, for parents as teachers. We were it's like, yeah, just send the other 2. So that's great. I have nothing but positive things to say about parents as teachers and about ECC and everything that's going on. Dr. Reth's book. Sarah, the things you're doing there is fantastic. Having visits in our own house and meeting our own, representative for things, I think it's great. What we're doing as a district in preparation for students coming into things, having the ECC for stuff, it's just nothing but fantastic, and I appreciate everything you guys do every single day. I think it's the right thing to do, and I can speak from my own experience that all it does is create a positive learning environment. And I myself have kids coming home excited to be in school every single day, and at certain points say, is it a school day because I want to go to school, and are sad that it's a weekend. So maybe that's my own, they don't want to spend too much time with me, but it's all great, and I think that just speaks to the magnitudes of the positiveness that we present in our kids' lives, and that's awesome. So
Well said.
thank you so much.
Well said.
Sarah, you're always a crowd favorite. I told you that this
Yeah,
afternoon.
thanks for scanning my piece of cardboard.
You mentioned too, Dr. Westbrook, our ECC principal is pretty wonderful too. You can give her a hand if you like.
Yeah.
Do I have a motion to approve the Parents as Teacher Program Review?
I move to approve the Parents as Teachers Program review.
I second.
All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? All right, that program review passes. 6 point,
And you're not gonna hurt our feelings if you leave.
Like,
Sorry, I might as well say that.
that's the bonus of going first.
You are released. The other people, you stay.
Yeah.
Thank you all.
Item 6.02, this is our Career Technology Education Program Review.
Yes, so we get to go from one end of the spectrum, where we talk about kids and preparing them for school, to the other end, where we talk about graduating kids and moving on to college and career readiness and technical education. So this evening, we have an exciting presentation for you. We have our Director of Lewis and Clark, who is here to present on Lewis and Clark, our Director of CAPS, who's here to talk about our CAPS program, and then one of our C&I coordinators who's going to talk about Project Lead the Way. So without further ado, I'm going to turn this over to Martin, who's going to come up and talk about Lewis and Clark. Slide forward, Chris. Yeah.
I'm gonna press that. Yep.
That one.
There you go.
All right.
Excellent.
I am a former technology person, and I still struggle with technology. So, anyway, Martin Hanley, I want to thank you all. This has been an incredible year back at Lewis and Clark as the director. As you all know, this is where I started my education career, and I get to return to it. So I'm pretty excited. Dr. Smith has been busy trying to figure out what we were going to do about our student recognition ceremony that got canceled last night. So he's at home relaxing after a rough day of trying to figure all of that stuff out. So what I wanted to do is just kind of share some of our programs, and I'm not going to read them to you. You all are very capable of reading, but I wanted to highlight two of them. For many years, we've had the Computer Maintenance and Networking Program. This year, we renamed that program to the Lewis and Clark Cyber Academy. One of the things that's really cool about that is that's up and coming, and that's what we need to be looking at. And so our students are still learning the same things as computer maintenance and networking, but we've added on the Cyber Academy or the cybersecurity piece of that. They have been sharing with our staff and students on ways to be secure, and I know that helps our IT department. So one thing that program did, they hosted a cybersecurity symposium in conjunction with DESE. So we're pretty excited that we're getting involved at the state level in that program. The other program that I really wanted to focus on is our dental assisting program. I can't tell you how many graduates we have because, well, it hasn't happened yet. That program's going to start the next school year. At our accepted student night, that room was full. We have some really excited young men and women who want to work in dental offices. Why, I don't know, but they want to do that and they're excited about it. We've got an amazing young lady who's going to step in and teach that program for us. We've been working with the State Department of Oral Health, and they're arranging all sorts of donations for us, and we're looking forward to an exciting program there. I can tell you, every time I talk to somebody in the dental field, they are excited and wanting me to get them graduates today. And so as soon as we can get them graduates, we will. Some of our goals, and I'm pretty excited about these goals, we want to make sure that our students are on track to earn a certificate with us. And one of the things that makes that possible also is that they are on track to graduate. If they're not on track to graduate, they're not on track to earn a certificate. So we're helping the graduation percentage rate for our district and all of our partner districts. We want to increase the demand for our programs, and really that involves a whole lot of marketing effort. Many of us remember CTE being VOTEC, where all the dumb kids are going to. Well, I can tell you, our kids are smart, and they're going to do amazing things. And so we want to keep building that marketing effort in our county and across the state and the nation. We want to continue working on those essential employability skills, the skills that make those students be good employees. Things like critical thinking and teamwork and problem solving and conflict management. So we're constantly working on that. We want to continue to work on our professional development, very focused towards CTE. No offense to any of our academic counterparts, but sometimes that stuff just doesn't apply to the shop life. So we want to get more focused on CTE and workforce-ready type skills. And again, better marketing, and we want to continue to upgrade and improve our technology and equipment. As such, we're constantly applying for additional grants, and I want to thank the CO team for helping me with those, because again, we want to keep growing what we have available for our students. Some numbers, and it's the first two that I'm really excited about. We had 36 medals at the Skills USA state competition this year. That's the most we've ever had. Wow. Yes. And the next number is even more impressive. Of those 36, 16 of those students will be attending national level competition in Atlanta, Georgia in June. So we're really excited about that. We're having a conversation earlier today about fundraising, and I'm just excited how well our students do in helping fund this, because it is not a cheap endeavor to get our students to Atlanta. So again, thank you all for all that you have done. We are really getting out there. We had over almost 1,000 applicants this year. It's the most we've ever had for roughly 500 spots. So our programs are full. We have wait lists in every program. So we're, again, looking to find new and exciting ways of expanding and growing so we can continue to support the students in the county. We are developing or working with a company for a new enrollment application system for next school year. TFS Results. You might have heard of a man named Mark Perna. He and his company created this amazing enrollment system. And so we started meeting with them last week on designing it to make it easier for my staff and for our sending school partners to get students enrolled and then into our student information system. Achievement data, we are testing students. Last year we passed 88% of our students that were tested in their industry-recognized credentials passed. This year, I don't have those numbers for you yet because we're still in that process, but the numbers as of this morning, with 3 classes still left to finalize their testing, we were at 84%. So we're staying up there above that 80% mark. So we're excited about that. And we continue to support our IEP students throughout the county. And placement data. There's a lot of numbers up there. Really what this boils down to is that when our students leave us, they are employed in our communities, they are working, they are going to the military, they're continuing in their education. Most of them aren't living in mom's basement. They are out working and doing some amazing things, and they're all in related areas. That's what we want. If they come to our welding shop, we want them out working in welding. And for those that end up not doing that, we hope that they figured out that this really isn't the best place for them, especially for those college-bound ones. We don't want them to waste their money going to college. That's not what they want. So I think that's the last slide I had. Yes, it is. Any questions for me about Lewis and Clark?
I have a couple of statements again, and then a question. So first off, from the presentation, for some things that hit home for me personally. I have a sister-in-law that's an orthodontist who definitely needs dental assistance. So glad we have that program.
Yep.
Coming up. And then I have a brother who sadly passed away a few years ago who finished in a trade of being an electrician, who tried the academic route and it didn't work out for him. I think when he was a kid, he couldn't spell phonetically or read probably. I think when he passed away on his casket, I wrote, "You probably can't read this." But it's a different skill set that as we transition to different generations, we're swinging a pendulum a little bit for the priority between academics and going to a four-year college and going to a trade school, and not separating those as two distinct separate things as one versus the other. So I'm always interested, I think you touched on it a little bit before, and even as a further question that you can't answer today, what we have as an opportunity to grow what we can offer to the St. Charles School District, especially with Gen Z, preferring trade schools more than, a four-year college. So that's something to be great or worry about as we continue to grow that program. So appreciate everything that we're doing in that school. As we kind of move forward, we're at 84% for the acceptance. When we try to grow your programs and have more folks in, is there a feasibility for growth? And with that feasibility, is there a continued ability to see such a high trend in job-related success and testing?
I'm going to say yes to both of those. I've been working with my staff and some other people on some different ways of reaching students. Things like bringing back extended day, finding off-campus, other opportunities to grow. I'm trying to be really careful because I don't want any of my bosses to go, "What did you say that for?" But
don't worry about it. Don't be careful. Come on, be candid.
Well, so what I want to do is we want to grow, and I think there's a lot of different opportunities to do that, and so we're going to be working to try and find ways to grow. Now, we're full.
Yeah,
we're full. Trying to get any more students in our traditional programs right now, probably not going to happen because I just don't have the room.
Do you think a lot of that is because of the change in the stigma between a trade school as we go through?
Yes, absolutely. I stay in contact with a lot of colleagues across the state, and I can tell you every single one of us is experiencing that sort of growth and that challenge because people realize there is an issue with college debt.
Yeah.
And this is a way that they can be productive right away. And again, I'm not putting down colleges. I've got 3 degrees. They're great, but they're not for everybody.
Yeah.
Right? The guys that want to go out and start welding, they probably don't need a 4-year degree.
Right. Is there, I think I saw that there was like 33,000 jobs for the automotive industry for
Yes.
technicians.
Yeah.
Is that what you have the most interest in for folks applying to the program, or is it just more broad?
It's all over. Our health programs, our automotive programs, our welding programs, our cybersecurity programs. The construction trades are booming. I mean, there's lots of job opportunities out there. And so we've got wait lists on all of them.
Yeah, I have an uncle that owns Best Weld Mobile. So welding too, I understand. So no, I think all of that's amazing. I myself went the 4-year college route because at the time for me, that was what you do.
Right.
But then when you look back, in hindsight and what we exist in today, it's always the question of, is that the right thing because of
Right.
college debt and the trade-offs, so.
So Daniel, you had some good questions, and one thing that I could add as a proud dad, I'm living exactly what we're talking about. My son literally graduates from Rankin
Yeah?
on Saturday. He's a full-fledged mechanic already. Probably has more money than I do in the bank at this point. And he is a proud graduate of Lewis and Clark. And I don't say this to be boastful, but to the point, he had choices. 3.9 in high school, football player, had a scholarship to go to 4-year, and he loves working with his hands, loves what he's doing with cars, and he's already in his, and he got his Rankin paid for. So it just shows you, and Lewis and Clark, he loved his high school, loved different things, but he just talks about Lewis and Clark like it changed his life, which it did. And then, let me just say this about this gentleman too. He's come in and done a great job this year, first year, and what he hasn't told you too is Martin is highly connected in the state, at the state level with these programs, as well as nationally. He's on a couple of different boards and doing a great job of leading us in the future. So I just wanted to add that to his resume as well, because
Yeah.
he didn't say that. You can clap for him, that's great. But we are booming. You have perfect answers, by the way, about the growth.
Thank you.
We want to grow as well,
He's
but
your
we
boss,
have to
right?
be careful what that looks like. We have 4 other, obviously, county school districts that we serve, but we're always talking about collectively, what does that look like?
Yeah.
So.
I appreciate that and the plug for Rankin too, because that's where my brother graduated from. His wife worked there for a little bit, in the education piece of things, and then touching back on Magic House, my middle one spent 45 minutes in the car area working on a toy car. And in the past, it probably could have been like, get away from that, let's go do something else. But in that situation, it's like, yeah, this is an opportunity.
We can
This
get
is
him
something
in-
that you can do.
We can get him into Lewis and Clark. Make sure you
Yeah.
touch base with me. I'll get his name down.
Do
right
I
away.
have any ability to
You know,
start-
we'll talk.
Right,
We'll talk.
right. For the first time coming in, I think you did a great job. Appreciate you being here today and the stuff that you presented. Thank you.
Thank you, Mark.
Thank you.
Thanks, Martin.
Good evening, how is everyone?
Fine.
I'm Erica Leanne, I'm the director of the CAPS program. I'm just finishing my 4th year. It's been a wonderful ride. We have 3 strands in our CAPS program. So CAPS stands for Center for Advanced Professional Studies. And we have our 3 strands right here. Our healthcare medical professions strand is actually our largest. We have 80 students presently in that strand. We actually have a waiting list going into next year, about 120 students. We're only capped at 80 because of the spots that we have within our hospitals. We have Mercy, SSM, and BJC, St. Peter's, and Progress West. And they can only guarantee us so many spots. And so we're only allowed to have 80 spots in the healthcare strand. They're located at the St. Charles Ambulance District 1 day a week. And then they're located at the Francis Health Administration building as well. And so if you click on around the name of the strand, you'll see the latest update of their newsletter. And so we try to send that out as often as possible, just so that parents, business leaders, whoever in the community would like to see what's going on. Our healthcare strand is a little different, as they're in the hospitals 1 day a week, and they see it all. They see live births, they see heart attacks, they see deaths, they see surgeries, everything. And so it really takes the path of a student of what they want to do in the future, and if medical school is there for them. And so if a student sees something that they just can't handle, a good time is to leave, exit at semester, and we praise them for doing that, because they say, you know what, I just can't handle what I just saw, my shadowing experience, and they can move on to something else. And so the basis of the program is to really help that student figure out what their career needs are and where they're going to go. The other part of the foundation of our CAPS program are soft, professional, durable skills, and we pride ourselves on that and what we teach in the program. The next strand is our entrepreneurship and business management. That is our 2nd largest strand, and we currently have 54 students. I push that a little bit more and more every year, because that's a big strand as well. We have a current parent actually on the board. Avery's doing very well in the program, and she actually won some money for an entrepreneurial contest that she did in November. Yep, she's a great baker, actually. She does phenomenal.
She keeps the Seaford's plump. I'm just telling you.
They're located at an actual business, Stouter Technologies, which is right across from Menards. They meet there 3 days or 4 days a week. And then the other place is the Economic Development Center. Scott Dratnick is the CEO of the Economic Development Center. He's on the CAPS board and welcomes us every Wednesday. That strand, the second semester, they go into an internship with a business partner. And we have about 350 businesses that we've collaborated over the last 6 years. But our students just finished up their internships actually today. Was it today, Thursday? Nope, last week, I apologize. So a lot of them will go on to work with that business in the summer, or they'll continue to come back in the summer after college. And quite a few of them have worked with them full-time. So last year we had a student who did so well as internship that the business actually gave him a full ride to Lindenwood, and when he graduates in a couple of years, he will make $90,000 starting at Stouter Technologies. The third strand is our creative media, engineering, and applied technology. We added engineering to this strand this year because we wanted to grow the program. And when I came to the board, our CAPS board, they suggested that we add another industry that we could apply to that particular strand to see it grow. And coming into the program starting in the fall, we will have 38 students, and we're going to continue to accept applications to get that up as well. So they are located at the Lewis and Clark Career Center, and they currently have 18 current students in that program. We have a total of 150. Going into the fall, we had a little less than 300 applicants, so we have quite a few students who are on the wait list as well. Talking about our program goals, and it's really important that we send out a survey to parents and students just to see where they started in their program and where they're finishing. A big part of that is the professional, soft, durable skills that our students learn. And so we want students and parents to be highly satisfied with the program. And so that survey is ongoing. It's currently out, and we're hoping to push more feedback to get back from our parents. Like I said earlier, we have around 350 business partners. 98% of our business partners will deem the usability client projects to their expectations, so this is a really big one for us. We work with a lot of current businesses, just like today. This week we had an innovation summit, and we had 3 business partners that came in. Our students presented ideas and feedback to a solution that they provided the students, and then they came up with a solution and marketing plan for each business. And so with that, a lot of our businesses continue to push to get it in careers, and a lot of the times they hire our students on. And so I attended a conference in San Diego last year, and there were 7,000 businesses and universities, educators at this particular conference. There's 11.5 million jobs that are open right now in the United States. What's happening is that students are graduating with degrees from colleges, and they're starting out making $120,000 a year. But what companies are finding out is that they don't have those soft, durable skills. So they're bringing them back down to a much lower level salary until they can learn growth mindset, communication, strategic planning, and just how to communicate networking with their other coworkers. And so that's something that's very, very important to us, and businesses can see that, how we instill that into our students. And so our client projects and our business partners are very strong. We continue to grow successful fundraisers. Tomorrow's our big golf tournament. It's actually going to probably be the biggest one yet. Collectively, we've raised around $45,000 since 2021. Tomorrow's at Bear Creek. We also have a lot of funding from our community partners, such as Mercy, Barnes Jewish Hospitals, Master Clock, Boeing, Southern Bank, and Nothing But Cakes. There are 2 great stories that I just wanted to highlight. Those are for you to see later. We had a board meeting on Friday, and Madeline from the healthcare program came in, and I felt like we were speaking to a young adult who was 25 years old. She has seen so many different surgeries because she reaches out to the doctors and to the nurses and says, will you allow me into your surgery center? And she's watched quite a few. So her presentation is the first one. She is a student from Holt High School and then in Wentzville School District. And then Carson Quinn, he is a student at St. Charles West. And his internship was with a business advisor, and he was on Channel 2 News. And so his clip is that right there. So I encourage you to watch it later. But he held himself very well, and I don't know if you saw it, but he was amazing young man, so.
Carson's gonna change the world.
He is gonna
You
change the
watch.
world, yep.
And
he is.
he's a hometown team member. I tell you that Madeline is very impressive. She's so impressive, I invited her to my medical procedure in June.
Good,
It was a little awkward, but
that's great.
I did. So you wanna see a heart procedure? Come on, we're gonna have a party.
Do you have any questions?
I just want to say thank you as a parent. I think what you touched on about like teaching them the soft skills has been huge, I know, for my daughter. She's like, everybody in high school should have to take a class about talking to adults, like being professional, the strategic planning. I've just seen like her confidence soar. Yeah, and just the opportunities she's had to be like in the entrepreneurship contest. I mean, things she would never have done because she wouldn't even let me go watch it, but and then won. Just like not even knowing what your potential is, and then I think gaining confidence through the CAPS program. And yeah, her internship has hired her on to stay this summer to be paid. So, and even while she's been interning, they've hired her for weekend events. So it's just an amazing program, and I tell everyone, have your
Avery's
kids do it.
Avery's pretty awesome too.
Yeah,
We guys just
so-
got great kids. And I'll tell you, we are the fiscal agent of both these programs, but the awesome thing is our teachers and our directors take these kids on like they're our own kids. And it's just phenomenal to see all 5 St. Charles County school districts continue to stay together, continue to work together, continue to plan together, and we're just doing great things. And Erica does a fantastic job in this program as well, so kudos to you, Erica.
Thank you.
Sorry, me.
Sorry.
It's me again. For the health, I have 2.
Yes.
2 and then a statement. For the healthcare program, is the limit that we have just because of availability from who we're partnering with? Or is there
Yes.
an opportunity to grow anywhere else, like
If
downtown?
the hospitals
with
allow us to
Barnstable?
come in and have more spots available, then yes, we'll be able to grow. But at this time, we're capped because the hospitals have capped us.
Is there a way we can help with the cap of that for like advocation or?
That's a great question.
You don't have to answer it now, it's
I am
okay.
No, I'm actually on some advisory boards with the hospitals to talk about how we can provide more spots. Healthcare in our hospitals are just overwhelmed still, I think, from COVID.
Sure.
And so there's a lot of paperwork that we have to go through just to allow our students to go in to observe. But, you know, we're at the mercy of them, so.
Mercy is yeah.
But we
Mercy,
also
we're
tried-
at the mercy of mercy.
But we also expanded to nursing homes and ambulance district and those type of things. So one thing, and we mentioned about Martin being connected, Erica is, very connected in the St. Charles County area, the St. Louis area. So if it has been said or done or connected, she's on it. The growth word is really important for both programs, but again, what does it look like? And then with all 5 school districts, we'd like, at some point, what do the locations look like? Because you've got kiddos coming from Wentzville. And so when our CAP strands are in different locations as well. We utilize businesses and things like that. So we love to grow. We just have to make sure we're all on the same page when we do it, so.
Part of my subtext with that a little bit is what we're doing with Compass.
Yeah.
As a partnership, does that create opportunity for additional students to
good.
join that thing? But for the business management piece, I know we talked about Lindenwood and some scholarship on things. Is there any partnership that we're doing with Lindenwood? Because they
Absolutely.
have.
As an alum myself from Lindenwood.
Me too.
That is a really important piece to it. So we do have dual credit with them, and then any of our students who go to Lindenwood get a $1,000 scholarship for every year that they're there. And so that's something that's new this year, and something that we really pushed out, so.
Awesome. Okay, that's great. So those 2 questions, and my last one
Yeah.
is another question. Do you have any more spots for the golf tournament tomorrow?
You know what? I got my hand slapped because We are 37 teams,
The
and
answer is no. You can just tell me no and
No.
break my heart. It's fine.
there's not.
We did not slap your hand, right? It's not us that's slapping your hand, I just want to make sure.
No, it's the golf course. The golf course, the director said, oh gosh, that's going to be a lot of golfers, and you should have oversold yourself, so.
Awesome.
But I
Yeah.
will put you on the list for next year.
Thank you so much. I appreciate your time.
Yeah.
I'm always on the wait list. Story of my life.
It's a really great tournament. We'll be out there in the morning just to say welcome to the golfers. and
Bear
thank you.
Creek's a great
Well,
course. So.
and obviously, we raised some really good funds to help support some things, but it's just the general thought of people coming out and supporting CAPS, and really, because it's a grassroots effort. It takes all of us. All 5 school districts, a great director, our teachers are phenomenal. Teachers at Lewis and Clark, I mean, but it takes partnerships, it takes support. So I think tomorrow symbolizes that. Would you agree to that?
I would agree. Thank you so much.
Thanks, Erica. Hi, Tina.
Hello, how are you? All right, I'm going to shout out to Lewis and Clark as well, as my child is also a graduate of Lewis and Clark in the health occupations area. So she is now a certified occupational therapy assistant, and she works for the Center for Exceptional Learning and is certified through First Steps. So thanks to Lewis and Clark Health Occupations for that. And Project Lead the Way. Sorry, I cannot read my stuff, so I have to put the glasses on, sorry. Okay, so these are the program goals actually from the Project Lead the Way program. So basically, we want to have our kids have these transformative experiences and get them into STEM fields. So there are 3 strands in Project Lead the Way. There's biomedical, and there is computer science and engineering. And engineering was their very first program that they started. So actually, there are a lot more courses in engineering that are available. We just don't offer them. We offer 4 in each of our strands. We have built it from the first level, and then we added a second, third, and then finally a 4th one. And so it is really to get them with the hands-on experiences. Our enrollment, however, is a little disheartening because it has gone down, especially since COVID. So this year, actually, we, could you flip this slide one more? Thanks. So this year, we actually have a few more than we did last year, but at the height of our enrollment was in the 2019, 2020, right before COVID hit. And then since then, it's been a little bit difficult to get our students in Project Lead the Way, and we have had issues with scheduling, and some of our teachers can only teach like one strand of it, and then they have other courses. So if the students can't fit it into their schedule during that one period, we also, in our computer science, we only have one teacher who is certified in computer science A, and that's at St. Charles High. We do not have a teacher at St. Charles West. So if anybody at St. Charles West wants to take computer science A, then they would have to be bused or drive over to St. Charles High. So that could be also a difficult thing. But our level 1 numbers continue to stay high. It's just the numbers that, as the strands go on until you get to that capstone. So because Project Lead the Way offers, Missouri S&T offers college credit, we really want to start promoting this even more and get our students to understand that if you take the Project Lead the Way classes, and this is the field that you want to be in, you can actually earn credit. There's colleges all over the country that offer this, but Missouri S&T is a PLTW partner. And through biomedical, let me turn my page, sorry. Biomedical offers, if they take 2 PLTW classes, then they have to have an A or a B, and then they have to score on the end of course exam as a distinguished or advanced, and they can earn the general biology and general biology lab by paying for those credits. Computer science, actually, all 4 of our courses that we offer transfer to 4 separate courses at Missouri S&T. So they could technically pay I believe it's $200 they could get for each of those classes. So that is a big thing there. And then engineering is, if they take 2 PLTW classes, it counts as their introduction to engineering. So they can buy the credit and they don't have to go to Missouri S&T. They can transfer that credit to another school if they wish to do so. And we just really want to start trying to, that's one of our opportunities for growth, is really start focusing in on those middle school students and even at Jefferson and trying to promote the program so that we can grow it like Lewis and Clark and CAPS keep growing. We want to continue to build those numbers back up in PLTW. Other than PLTW, we also have other CTE opportunities in our business, marketing, information science, industrial technology, and our FACS department, and visual arts. Visual arts has a creative graphic arts class, and then our business marketing offer a lot of Adobe classes in addition to that one visual arts. And then we also, when we revised in the 2019-20 school year, we added some sports entertainment marketing and travel and tourism marketing. And this past October, we actually brought in some industry people to talk to our teachers. And we brought someone from the Family Arena and from the casino and from the convention center, and because that is what travel and tourism and sports and entertainment is all about. So they were able to actually talk to people who worked in that, in those fields, to try to really see what it is that their students need so that they can provide that for them. And then industrial technology, we offer the home repairs, but we also offer design and machine processing, advanced and machine processing, graphic and electronic media, video production, and robotics. We have an intro to robotics, and we also have an advanced robotics. And we are going to be switching next year to all VEX to be in line with all of our PLTW so they can move from PLTW to robotics and so forth. And then our family and consumer science, they offer fashion, foods, and career pathways for the teaching professions. And all of our Lewis and Clark and some of our business and FACS departments also offer industry-recognized credentials. And Martin talked a little bit about what they do at Lewis and Clark, but we also offer Adobe certifications in our business department, and we offer the career pathways for teaching professions. They can take the pre-PAC, the AAFCS Educational Fundamentals, and not only does those help them with finding jobs in the future, but it also aligns to MSIP 6 for our Success Ready points. So each of the high schools gets points for Success Ready students, and that includes ACT, AP, and then it also includes IRCs. So the more that our students are showing their proficiency in being Success Ready, the more points we get, and the better that they are, because then they can use those IRCs to get themselves jobs in the future. And the last 2 slides. So the evidence of positive impact is that we were able to add an engineering strand to CAPS, and we're adding the dental assisting program. At Lewis and Clark, our student involvement in the student professional organizations is increasing. Martin talked about Skills USA, but at the high schools, we also offer FBLA, DECA, HOSA, and TSA, and that would include for our business, our marketing, our biomed strands, our engineering, and our computer science strands. And then the industry-recognized credentials are earned through DESE, approved certified exams, and the opportunities for college credit. And then areas of growth, we're going to continue to recruit for Lewis and Clark, CAPS, PLTW, and our other high school CTE, continue to survey our students and community to align with student interests. And one thing also with that, we have a new program called Naviance that our that right now, we're still learning Naviance, but our counselor over at St. Charles High is very proficient in it, Julie Basler, and we are really working towards using Naviance to look at the student surveys in there and try to align them with what careers they are wanting to have in the future so that we can guide them on taking the correct courses and getting all of that in Naviance to help them build those four-year plans. And then we do want to expand our available enrollment by adding staff and space, promote our PLTW program to Jefferson and Hardin students to start with their career pathways. We do offer the pathways at Hardin. Right now, we offer design and modeling, which does have all three strands in the one class. We offer computer science for innovators and makers, and then medical detectives, thank you. I'm thinking of medical interventions, which is in the high school. And then we also offer a robotics course, which is not PLTW, but it's still in that engineering strand. We also want to offer opportunities for students to showcase their learning to the district and community. Other districts around us, sometimes, Wentzville is very big with PLTW, and so is Francis Howell, and we really want to grow it that big so that we can actually have a showcase for our capstones. They make projects and so forth. It would be great to be able to showcase those as we build our enrollment up. And then continue to provide professional development for our teachers and engage program alumni through social media and other outlets. And that's all I have. Do you have any questions?
Tina does a great job, too.
Yes.
Thank you, Tina. She
Thank you.
wears many hats, right,
Yes.
Tina?
Yes, I'll be doing early childhood in a little bit, so, okay.
And music. Don't forget music.
And music.
Do I have a motion to approve the Career Technology Education Program as presented?
I move to approve the Career Technology Education Program as presented.
All those in favor? Aye. Opposed? That passes. The next program review is technology planning.
All right, we're welcoming David Taylor to the podium. He's our Director of Technology, will be Director of Technology come July 1st. I told David, hey, keep it at 10 minutes. So if there's any fear that maybe he went a little short, just blame it on me, because I told David that's what you needed to keep it to.
You got, yeah.
If I can work the technology here.
Yep. Your
My
mic's-
name is David Taylor. I have been in this.
Your mic's on. Oh, sorry. I
No,
couldn't-
you're good. My name is David Taylor. I've officially been in the interim position for only a couple weeks, so bear with me here. I don't have a slideshow, but I do have some points here to share with you all about our technology department. The technology department is charged with obtaining, deploying, and maintaining the equipment, software, and physical connections that enable our electronic communications and services, both in the classroom and among the personnel who support the education process. The department also implements cybersecurity measures to ensure data confidentiality, integrity, and availability. Additionally, the department seeks to expand its capabilities to improve teacher access and understanding of the powerful electronic resources the district provides to improve education. Some of our programs and goals, as outlined in our CSIP, will include Safe Defend System, as the first one I want to highlight. The Safe Defend notification system is installed in all classrooms throughout the district now, with the exception of Lincoln Elementary. Lincoln Elementary should be completed after the summer rewire of Lincoln Elementary, which is the entire rewire for our network closets at that school. Hardin Middle School has also implemented a voice module option for the Safe Defend system that we're looking at to implement across the entire district in the future. Number two, investigate use of visitor identification and badging systems for school buildings. The Raptor Visitor Management System has been implemented in all the schools. And that is just a system that whenever any visitor from the outside comes in, we can scan their ID and see if they're in any registry, and we coordinate that database with the police department and city and state and federal government. Consider enhanced video, number 3, consider enhanced video surveillance, building access systems, and building modifications when renovation of buildings is undertaken. As renovations to buildings have been completed, the district has increased or adjusted building access security to meet the needs of those renovations. A future goal is to implement access control for all network rooms and closets. This will potentially be outlined in our next CSIP. Number 4, investigate purchase and implementation of GPS tracking system to allow real-time tracking of our district bus fleet. I'm proud to present that Geotab is now implemented and active, and buses can be tracked in real time by the Transportation Department. Tyler Drive training will be conducted August of 2024, which will teach the bus drivers how to operate and use the mounted tablet. Tyler Drive also provides an app for parents to track their children's location on the bus, which will be tested during the fall 2024 semester to be fully implemented by spring 2025. Number 5, annually review district safety and security policies and procedures for any necessary revisions or additions. The Technology Department annually reviews Safe Defend intruder drills and processes. The Technology Department also reviews cybersecurity processes to ensure the district is keeping up with industry best practices. Cybersecurity initiatives to help protect our district data and infrastructure will potentially be outlined in the next CSIP. Number 6, investigate further use of student device monitoring software or other methods to achieve this goal. The district utilizes GoGuardian for student monitoring in the classroom and when district devices are used off of campus. Consider how to utilize, number 7, consider how to utilize Google Team Drive or other similar resources to create and maintain district-wide repositories of resources or documents. Google has recently released shared drives by organization. The Technology Department has already started removing local Z drives and plan to migrate the rest of the local district shared drives to Google by the end of summer 2025. Number 8, continue to investigate and implement strategies to ensure the district considers digital equality for all students. The district provides wireless hotspots for students without internet access at home. The district also provides students with Chromebooks 5th to 12th that can be taken home as part of our one-to-one program. Number 9, investigate expansion of the one-to-one device initiatives for grade pre-K to 8th grade. The district now offers a one-to-one device for all grades 5th through 12th. The district also provides classroom sets of Chromebooks at all of the elementary schools. Develop and implement a replacement cycle for all student-used computers and other devices. Students in the 5th grade are provided a Chromebook, and they use that same Chromebook each year through 8th grade. In 9th grade, students are provided a new Chromebook and keep that Chromebook until they graduate. Upon graduation, students are offered the option to purchase their Chromebook they have been using for approximately $25. Desktop computers and labs at the middle and secondary schools have been replaced over the 23-24 school year to comply with security and performance standards. They are now on a 4-year cycle as well. Number 11, develop and implement a device replacement schedule for computers and other technology used by instructional staff. Teacher laptops are now on a 4-year replacement cycle. All 7th through 12th grade teachers receive new laptops before the 23-24 school year, and all pre-K through 6th grade teachers are receiving new laptops currently and will have them all before the 24-25 school year. Number 12, implement a maintenance and replacement schedule for internet switches, servers, and other network equipment. The department utilized bond funds from the 2021 bond issue and E-rate funding from the federal government to replace all wireless access points and network switches in the district during the summer of 2021. These networking upgrades increased network capabilities within the district 50-fold. The district currently has one of the fastest, most efficient networks in the state. I can personally attest, coming from the outside, it is an excellent network. Number 13, continue to partner with the City of St. Charles to maintain our shared fiber network. The network fiber infrastructure upgrades that occurred summer of 2017 increased connectivity between buildings from 1 gigabit per second to 50 gigabits per second. This partnership with the city is a 15-year agreement. Number 14, consider cell phone booster system strategies as needed. The department reached out to multiple companies to inquire about costs for cell phone boosters in school buildings known for having poor cell coverage. It was ultimately decided that cell phone boosters were not a feasible solution at this time. Number 15, investigate possibility and benefits of centralized enrollment. The summer of 2021, the technology department began taking over enrollments district-wide for K-12 students to help streamline the process. As of summer 2023, all enrollments are now centralized through the technology department. This has helped ensure that students are promptly enrolled in our student information system and reduced redundant data entry at schools. Number 16, research, choose, and implement a new student information system. The technology department has implemented PowerSchool SIS as of the 23-24 school year. A comprehensive review and re-implementation of PowerSchool SIS has started as of May 1st, 2024, to ensure the district students, parents, and staff, as well as their administrators, have the tools they need to operate efficiently. Training on PowerSchool SIS for staff and administrators will be offered late summer of 2024. The technology department plans to offer regular training on the system every year, as well as document guides for staff and administrators to reference. Finally, the description of the process to be used to evaluate the technology department's program effectiveness. The primary evaluation process used to determine the technology's effectiveness, can't get nervous now, right? Will be the district's implementation of the current 5-year comprehensive school improvement plan known as the CSIP. The CSIP will be reviewed and updated as needed on an annual basis. Also, regular review of data, departmental meetings and discussions, and ongoing evaluation of industry trends are constantly necessary to adapt to changing technologies, and the department conducts these reviews on a weekly basis. And do you have any questions for me at this time? Thank you. Thank
Plus-
I appreciate that.
You know, David, when we had that kind of notified about the data breach and that problem that came from outside, you were on that like quick. I mean, I find when I talk to people in the county, in our county, who have children, or even if they don't, they're from my age, but when they talk about their schools, I think we are so proactive in how we approach technology and our Safe Defend. We've been way ahead on that, and this bus tracking system is such a peace of mind, I think, for parents, that we have so many systems in place that keep our children safe, keep our staff safe. I just think we're just way ahead of not ahead of the game, but we are addressing things, not reacting to things, and I'm happy to hear that. So.
Thank you.
And David's our guy to keep us going in the future, right, Jeremy? We're pretty happy to have him.
Oh, absolutely, we are. Absolutely. I mean, you know, PowerSchool wasn't something that we wanted as a district. It's not, we didn't want the new student information system. It wasn't something we actively went out and sought.
I don't know if we still want it.
I want to be careful with what
I'll
I
just
say.
say it.
However,
I'm
Sorry,
very nervous to say the wrong thing right now, so I'm gonna.
I said it. It's been a struggle, but we're getting there.
but it's been a struggle, and I can, you know, David and his team have responded to the challenges of it. Sometimes, even though we may not have the support we desire, they are still actively attempting and researching and providing the best solution and as quickly, in a quick amount of time as they possibly can. So I've seen David recently just take on a tremendous amount of work, including Saturdays, including Sundays, without complaint. So just wanted to publicly say that, and thank you, David, for all your hard work.
Thank you. Good hands.
Thank you.
Do I have a motion to approve the technology planning program as presented?
I move to approve the technology planning program review as presented.
All those in favor say aye. Aye. Opposed? That passes. We're moving ahead to 6.04. This is our curriculum guide adoptions.
All right, there is a presentation in that, I sent it to you, Chris. So tonight, we have several curriculum revisions to share with you. As you probably know, writing curriculum is a very cumbersome task. It requires a lot of hours, both in and outside of the school day. And so this year, we had many areas that we were rewriting for. Our curriculum is written on a 7-year cycle. This year, because of the shift in how we write curriculum in our district, we are now moving to a 2-year writing cycle for our core classes. So that pushed social studies into this year. Under our old system, social studies would have been written last year only, but we pushed it and continued it this year. So we had social studies on top of the ones that were already scheduled for this year. And then the state threw us a curveball with science of reading, so then we had to rewrite ELA. So our ladies, I want to commend our curriculum and instruction coordinators over here because they have spent a lot of time working with our teachers, digging through Missouri learning standards, and dissecting that data to present this curriculum for you tonight. So we do have 4 areas that we are going to share with you. Social studies and elementary ELA will come next month, but tonight we are excited to present early childhood, our K through 12 music, K through 12 PE and health, and then world languages, which is at the secondary level. So without further ado, I am going to turn this back over to Dr. Lauer, who's going to talk about early childhood, and then she's going to follow that up with music.
Bring this back down because I'm short. Okay, so today, right now, we're going to do early childhood, and with me is Dr. Westbrook and Sarah Sherwood. So they were facilitators with me, and these are our team members here. Early childhood is a little bit different because we have to rewrite every single area all at the same time, whereas, you know, you have social studies, K-12, and you have music, K-12. Well, early childhood is all of their areas. So these are the standards that DESE came out with recently with new Missouri Early Learning Standards. And the approaches to learning standards is actually their first group of standards, but those just kind of embed themselves. So when you go through the curriculum guide, you'll see that there's approaches to learning in language and literacy and in mathematics as well. So that's just how students, you know, get ready to learn. So we embedded those in instead of, they're not taught separately. So that's why there's not going to be a whole area of just approaches to learning. A lot of what you'll see in the curriculum guide is what early childhood's philosophy is, in that kids learn through play at that age. So it's a lot of hands-on kind of learning. And the social emotional part of it is basically how to get along with other people, how to control their emotions, and, you know, regulate themselves. So you'll see a lot of that in the curriculum guide as well. And the group of teachers that participated here, they started last, if you want to switch the slide, please. Thanks. They actually started last summer with looking at the standards and starting on their, we do it a little bit different in early childhood. We don't have like the full-on proficiency scales, but we have a rubric with the same numbers, 1, 2, 3, and 4, that shows the growth of each priority standard. So they have rubrics that they created over the summer. They determined what those priority standards were, and then they were divided into curriculum writing groups based on their strengths and their love of certain content areas. So Dr. Westbrook put them into different groups, and then a couple of them were like, oh, I want to do language, I want to do math. So yes, so they switched themselves just a little bit, but they really did have a deep dive into those new Missouri Learning Standards. And last school year, to try to have a jump on this school year, We did a pilot with, I believe, 3 teachers on foundations, which is actually the program that our early elementary grades are also doing, K2 or K4. Is it K4? K4, sorry. But there is a preschool program of that foundation. So 3 of the teachers did that last year, and it went so well that we went ahead and we got the rest of the teachers trained this year, bought the kits for them, and they were doing a full school pilot this year, and it was working out great for the language and literacy. And they also had some themed kits for science and social studies and math. They looked at everyday math and also learning without tears. And as they were using those resources, they were building the curriculum at the same time. And so the resources that came to you last month, if you want to switch the slide, were right here. A lot of what you saw that you approved last month was hands-on manipulatives, because again, that is the philosophy of early childhood, is that they're learning through play, a lot of dramatic play, and props and music and movement and gross motor and fine motor, in addition to the language and literacy and the mathematics. So I think that is about it for early childhood. Do you guys have anything else to say?
I want to just chime in real quick. One of the things that we have been looking at through the department is moving forward, how do we break early childhood up so that when we write curriculum, they're not writing all of theirs together. So when we write math, then we pull early childhood in as well, and then we can see alignment from early childhood through 12th grade with math and so forth for social studies. So that's what we plan on doing in the future. It just didn't happen this year.
I don't have a question, just shout out to Ms. Schoenwetter and the Cool Cats and Ms. Wright and the Bunnies for where my own stuff go through. It's great to see those names.
I almost got in a lot of trouble today because I was in the hallway with the bunnies, and the next thing I know, we had a dance party going on, and I did not know how to control them.
Did you get run over by Henry? Because he will take you out.
I am telling you, the bunnies were everywhere, and I did not know what to do. I just walked away. I mean, there was adults there, I'm sorry.
Yeah, they have caterpillars. Have you seen the caterpillars?
Yes.
Very exciting.
It's very exciting.
All right, well, we will move on to K-12 music then. One more and one more. All right, so these are all of our music teachers. You'll see that some of our music teachers are in multiple areas because we have some that do general music, but then we also have vocal music in one area, and then the person also does general music at another area. So they kind of, overlap our music teachers. But these were our team members, and they broke up into their small writing groups to write for the K-6 general music, 5 through 12 vocal music, 5 through 12 orchestra, 5 through 12 band, and St. Charles West is actually having their band performance right now. So, so shout out to St. Charles West. And then we switched our high school music theory class. We switched it from an AP test to just an honors class, just because of the stress of the AP exam. And we only have the one teacher at St. Charles High who teaches it. So they will still be able to get honors credit. They just will, and they can take the AP test if they wish to. It's just not going to be like a requirement of the class anymore. And then we're also, this year coming up, we are also offering an optional honors option for our concert groups. So band, orchestra, or vocal music, choir, sorry, they can get one class through their high school, one of the advanced band, orchestra, or choir. They can take it as an honors credit. There will be additional things that they have to do to earn that honors credit, and those teachers, we're going to be working on that to get that criteria ready to go for the beginning of the school year. And then at the beginning of the school year, they can decide if they don't want to take it, they just take it normal. Or if they do, the counselors then will change that in their schedule as the honors credit instead. So what we did is The K-12 music also had new standards to look at, and those standards were based on the strands of create, perform, respond, and connect. So they really did dig into how can we give opportunities for students to create music, not just read the music and play it. If you've ever sat in on the band at Hardin, I sat in there and all of the band teachers were there because all three of them go and help with the Hardin band members. I went and sat in on jazz band. Oh my gosh.
It is.
It's amazing because they are really truly creating their music. And they do that not just, I'm just shouting out jazz because I sat in on that class one time, but all of them give those opportunities for our students to create their own music. So also perform, respond to the music, and then connect with that music. They determined what their priority standards were under each of those areas, and then the writing process occurred according to just the priority standards. They didn't write the curriculum to every single standard because it would have been really big. But of course, they are teaching all of the standards. But you'll see in the curriculum that not all the standards are listed, but they are all taught. All right, so the resources that we bought that you approved last time were instruments. Basically, in 5th grade, our instruments are provided for our students for 5th and 6th grade. And then in 7th grade, that's when they can start purchasing their own. But there's some instruments still that are really expensive, and if they want to learn how to play that one, they need to practice on it first before they decide they're actually going to purchase it for the high school band or orchestra. So we do offer them those abilities to do that. And then in our elementary, we buy music instruments just for them to experiment with so that they can choose when they get to Jefferson if they want to actually play an instrument or not. We also, one of the strands of in the new music standards is music technology. So we do want to give the students opportunities to get on technology and create music with technology as well, as that is a field of music that is getting bigger and bigger, is that development of music on technology. And then we also got music theory textbooks, and I think that's about it for music. Any questions? Sorry, I'm stumbling over my words. It's warm in here.
Thank you, Tina.
All right, thank you.
Hi, evening, everyone.
Good evening.
Hi, I'm Caitlin Cromian. For those of you who I haven't met, I'm the Physical Education and Health Curriculum Coordinator.
And before Caitlin starts, so she is brand new.
Caitlin's awesome.
Yes. She just joined our CNI team this school year. And is this your first board presentation?
Hey, yeah, this is
First
my
one,
first.
so-
This is my first. I'm here.
Yes.
No pressure. So these are our amazing PE teachers. Everyone in the department was a part of writing the curriculum, and they wrote their curriculum K-12. So before they even started, they really came to an agreement about what do they stand for as a K-12 curriculum coordinator, or as a K-12 curriculum team. So we have PE all the way from kindergarten to high school PE teachers. So really coming together and talking about what that K-12 rationale looks like. Yeah, you can go to the next one. So that was a big piece before we could even talk about vertical alignment and pick our standards was, well, our curriculum is now K-12 and writing it together. Their K-12 rationale is grounded in physical literacy, engaging activities, and students identifying what their fitness journey will look like for them post-graduation. So it was important for the team that they did course selections and opportunities for kids that would allow them to identify what that looks like for them when they graduate high school. So you'll see that Jefferson is adding a cycle room to give them exposure to that version of physical fitness. Hardin added a course called Strength and Fitness. It's an elective that kids can choose to take, so they can have exposure there. And when they get to high school, there's a lot more student choice. So there's fitness walking, outdoor education, rec games. There's a lot of options. That was important for the team. The team wanted kids to be exposed to all different types of physical fitness so they could start to figure out what that would look like for them when they graduate. They also, at the high school, a really exciting thing at St. Charles West, they are adding a sports officiating course. It's starting at St. Charles West as a pilot with the hopes that it moves to St. Charles High School as well. And they will use ref reps and get certified in a course of their choice. So a big part of the class will be about the leadership of being a ref and reffing sports contests. There's times where there's tension in games between players and coaches. There's the family, so that's a big part of the curriculum, and also the sports knowledge. But they designed the course so that anyone can join. You don't have to have the sports knowledge. You can just love watching soccer but not play soccer. And they will choose a course or a sport of their choice and get certified, and they could actually go get a job. So that was really exciting, and we're hoping it grows to St. Charles High School.
That's awesome, by the way.
It is, and it was a teacher's idea.
And the lack of referees, especially in the high school level these days, is just, it's becoming more and more of a problem. So that's really cool.
They plan to connect with local referees, and Ref Reps does a lot of, there's a lot of resources in there for kids, so it's gonna be really exciting. It was a teacher's idea, and it was a wonderful one. So that will start next year at St. Charles West. They also paid close attention to vertical alignment. So PE does not have Missouri priority standards, like some content areas like math. In certain content areas, Missouri says, here are your priority standards. So we chose them as a team, but for third grade, just for example, there's 57 standards. So the standards are written with a vertical alignment and a progression, but when we start choosing them as priorities, we have to maintain a vertical progression. And they did an amazing job. So this is just one example of how meticulous they were about choosing their priority standards as a team, that nothing was random in their curriculum. So you can see, even just with basketball, in kindergarten, they're just learning to dribble the ball and make a second contact. And you can see that progress all the way through fourth grade. Well, now they're dribbling in self-space with a mature pattern. And then into fifth grade, now they're traveling with the ball. In sixth grade, now they're passing with the ball. And that was important for the team because there were many standards that could apply to basketball, but they were meticulous about how we are K-12 and we need to progress together. Just like math, we don't want to leave kids with gaps, and they did a great job making sure it doesn't happen in physical education. So the vertical alignment was a big deal for the team. They then chose resources. There was an abundance of various sports equipment. I mean, it's PE, so they had a lot of equipment that they had to buy. Their resources are not your typical textbook, and so it's more hands-on things that they can use with kids. And so like Jefferson's, for example, was related to their cycle room, and Hardin got things related to their strength and fitness room, so they could use that with their curriculum. We then moved on to writing our health curriculum, where again, our team did a great job working together. We started this process by first familiarizing ourselves with the resources we use to write health curriculum. So some of those resources are the state statute, the Missouri Learning Standards, and the SCSD board policy. So before we even started writing health curriculum, we familiarized ourselves with that. And the teachers, of course, they've been teaching health. They were already familiar with them, but we came back together as a team to make sure we had team agreement on those documents. And we discussed a process for how we would notify families for that learning. And we also unpacked what it would look like to notify families and what that communication would look like. So we recognize that some families might choose to opt their students out of that part of the learning, and we created opt-out forms. In 5th and 6th grade, it is an adolescent development. It's a 1 day of adolescent development, where by the time they get to 7th grade, it is a human sexuality unit. So in 5th grade, they would opt out, and in 6th grade for that day, versus the middle school and the high school, they're opting out of, in middle school, they're opting out of the end of a unit. And then in high school, they're opting out of the entire unit, should they choose that that's what's best for them. So if you go to the next slide, the next view just shows what that looks like in our forward-facing documents. We wanted to make sure that anyone could have access to what that learning would look like, and that they would have access to that opt-out form. And so you'll see a section in each curriculum guide starting in 5th grade that outlines what those Missouri learning standards are related to adolescent development and human sexuality, with the opt-out form there, so that they are in our forward-facing documents for anyone who wants to access them. On those documents, we also listed the learning outcomes. So it was very clear that this is the learning that children will be going through, and to complete this if you're choosing to opt your child out. And so the learning outcomes on the opt-out forms are identical to the learning outcomes in the curriculum. After we finalized and familiarized ourselves with the state statute, the Missouri Learning Standards, and the SCSD board policy, and discussed what it would look like to notify families and give them an opportunity to opt out, we then we made a connection. So if you go to the next view, we started to make connections between all of our documents. There's a couple more, go one more, right here. So if you see on the left, that's highlighted because it's highlighted in the state statute. We started to make connections between what are we seeing in the state statute and the Missouri Learning Standards and the board policy, and created crosswalks between those to make sense of them and aligned them. So we started to identify the standards that aligned to those. So you'll see, this is just an example of why things appear where they appear. Abstinence appears in the 7th grade standards. It is not in the 5th grade standards, and it is not in the 6th grade standards. So we made sure to align to those grade level learning outcomes. So certain things appear in certain grade levels because that's how the standards dictate it from Missouri, from DESE. And on the next few slides is just our crosswalk that we have to show how these things align. And so you'll see we identified parts of the state statute, the part of the SCSD board policy it aligns with, the Missouri learning standards that align with each of those, and then we unpacked those into learning objectives. You'll notice a lot of the language is the same because our teachers did a great job going through the process of unpacking standards to make sure we were holding true to what Missouri says the learning should be for that grade level. But lastly, we're really proud of the work our team did. They did a great job collaborating K-12, and they produced a great product. We're really proud of them.
I like the way you showed the connection between state statutes, board policy, that cross, not just the vertical alignment, but that it's
Crosswalk.
easy to understand. What did you call it?
Crosswalk. Mm-hmm.
It's easy to understand. It's great. Yeah.
I was going to say the same. For the officials program, that stuck out to me because I have officiated high school football and college football, and I did some NFL stuff when we had a football team. Are you partnering with like SLOA or any of like the local officials unions to have like support or like volunteers or anything or opportunities?
We are still working on that. Our PE teacher who's spearheading it, he is working on connecting with some local referees so that we can start making connections. We're still in the early stages, but ideally we would like to look into growing the program. There's been other places where once we start to connect with those areas, they're looking for referees.
Sure.
So part of it was just getting the course up and running and getting interest. So we surveyed students first to see if they were even interested in the course, and there was a lot of interest. When we surveyed them, we asked them if they were just interested in learning, because I like to watch football, but I don't maybe every Sunday I'm watching football with someone at home, but I don't know anything. Or were they wanting the course because they wanted to get certified? So we really wanted to understand why kids would want the course, and there was interest for the course and for getting certified. So the first step was to get the course up and running, to get connected with ref reps, learn about ref reps, and then our next step will be, we would eventually like to grow it. We'd like to see it get bigger because it is pretty cool that kids can get a job out of it, and that is really awesome. And so we're hoping over the next few years, there's an increased interest from students, and we can start partnering with people.
Awesome. Yeah, it's not bad money for Little League games, and then as you grow it, so.
And it's student-friendly hours
Right.
typically, so
Yeah.
very student-friendly.
In addition, and but to back up this topic, I love this course that you're developing, because as CAPS teaches children how to act professionally and be able to present and how to speak and how to handle situations, even students who never get certified to referee are going to learn how to handle conflicts, or how to handle and stay calm, or how to handle, that was a bad call.
You don't handle much more confrontation than being an
being a rep.
official
That
at a
is-
sporting event.
I mean, that's half the curriculum, conflict resolution, and
Right.
actually facilitating the game to avoid conflict is a big part of the curriculum. So it is a really awesome opportunity for kids.
Sounds like a good course.
Yeah, we're excited.
As you grow that, having done some of it before, if there's any assistance I can help with it, I'd love to. From being in it myself and some family members that have done it too. It's awesome. We need the growth of it, and having done it myself, there's a certain sense of satisfaction and, yes, personality growth that goes into being on a sideline and having a coach scream at you that's 10 years older of how could you miss that while having to do your job is certainly a character growth moment, I'll say. So it's awesome. Thank you.
All right, thanks.
Thanks, Caitlin.
Thank you.
Good evening. I'll try to make this short and sweet because I know that you guys have quite a long evening still ahead of you. I am Dr. Jessica Rico. I went ahead and facilitated the world language curriculum. When we wrote this initially 7 years ago, there was so much change from that point up to now in regards to how our students access world language and how it is now used so much in their world. So the teachers really came to me spearheading what they wanted, which was phenomenal. The other aspect of this is we now have the seal of biliteracy, which was not something at the time that we wrote 7 years ago that even existed. This opportunity for students, if you're not familiar with it, gives our seniors the ability to potentially gain 12 college credit hours electives if they complete the seal of biliteracy. To complete the seal of biliteracy, a student has to show proficiency in the English language arts. In addition to proficiency in a foreign language, they need to show competency in the ACTFL test, along with creating a basically portfolio of how they're going to use this target language. So the teachers came together and said, we have the goal of the seal of biliteracy for our students, because that is something that, it's not just the award. It's also the ability for a student to articulate themselves well and to think in that target language as well. Thinking in a target language, if you haven't had the opportunity to do so, also forces your brain to think in that culture and to think in the context of how an individual who speaks Spanish, French, or German might think and operate. So learning with these teachers was pretty phenomenal. Thank you. So the process was very similar to what my other fellow curriculum coordinators presented before. Of course, using the backwards design that we do use as a staple in our district. The teachers also brought in not only the Missouri Department of Education World Language Standards, but we're also looking at the ACTFL standards. These ACTFL standards are global. So our students are not just learning what the Missouri Department of Education is asking them to learn, they're also learning what other students will be learning globally. The ACTFL standards also articulate to our advanced placement standards. So our students that are taking level 4 and level 5 classes have the opportunity to advance themselves even further in those courses. Oh, if you can back up just a little bit, thank you. I do want to highlight a couple things here. If you go to that little post-it there, and I've highlighted that in the past 3 years, our student test taking for the seal of biliteracy has increased by 49%. 3 years. This year alone, we had 26 students taking the seal of biliteracy test. Of those 26 students, 22 have received the seal of biliteracy. One of those students has received the distinguished seal of biliteracy. To receive this distinguished level, the student had to show an advanced level of proficiency in all 4 levels of their actual test, along with producing that portfolio that I suggested before. So I'm incredibly proud of our teachers. I'm incredibly proud of our students because our students in their world languages stack up very, very well against our county counterparts. So I have listed here the AP themes, and basically these AP themes articulate directly to the actual standards. So what we did, instead of saying, okay, well, a student in German is going to learn this way, a student in Spanish is going to learn this way, and French another way, we combined all of the standards, wrote all 3 target languages to those standards. So every child who is taking whatever course is going to learn about diversity issues, economic, environmental, et cetera, for every single one of if whatever target language they're in. That's the beauty of this. It goes beyond just learning the language. It goes into how does this move me as a student in this global community? So our students are incredibly prepared going forward with our world language department. You can go ahead again. The primary resources that, thank you very much for awarding these to our teachers and our students in a previous meeting. These resources, especially the CLET World Languages and Vista, are more online focused resources. So our students will be able to interplay listening, speaking, and writing online. The beauty of this as well, as actually David Taylor was explaining before, so much of the internet has to be locked down for our students for their safety and for our teachers' safety, because we are unfortunately facing some foreign threats that online. So with that said, we wanted to make sure that our teachers had the availability to present to our students a safe environment online to learn about languages, to learn about these different cultures. Those primary resources will afford them that. The ancillary resources that are also available will be basically those, if a teacher in French needs to use Flangu, or in German, if they're going to use Roxham, those will afford the teachers the opportunities in those particular target languages to expand the repertoire for our students. I think that's it. Okay, that's all I have for you. Do you have any questions for me?
Can I just say something?
Yes, sir.
That was very concise. I mean, extremely concise, and you have all worked extremely hard, but I have watched you in that little room up there for days and days and days, or in here working with people. That was amazing how you were able to say all that in like 5 minutes.
I hope that was okay.
That's
Thank you.
awesome. I mean, that's a,
Well, that was up in that little room is ELA.
Yeah, that's it.
That's coming.
He has been down here in world language.
hold on. I love that you think you. What I'm saying is the work they're
Thank
doing
you.
is amazing, and they're very concise in what they're saying. You
Thank
love
you.
to cut me down for people.
I'm
That's all
sorry,
right.
I'm sorry.
I appreciate
I know it was
Dr.
ELA because I
Seifert.
went up there and
Thank
saw her,
you.
but I'm trying to give a point that the work that we have done has, I mean, it's been unbelievable, the work they have done. And it's the teachers and the people in this room, so I just want to thank you.
Thank
I'll
you,
stop
Dr.
so you can keep
Seifert.
talking, and I appreciate
No, I
Earl for
appreciate
his
it
comments.
greatly. I appreciate it. Thank you so much.
Well, really, every one of these program reviews that we've been listening to that have shoved so much information into a short amount of a presentation, but I'm listening to how proud I am of the opportunities our students have in technology, in PE and health, the new ideas. When our teachers come up with new ideas, or when they are working together, and it doesn't easily all align and gel together like that. That's why it takes, curriculum writing is awful.
I don't know if I'd say awful. I would say it is challenging. It is challenging work, but it is beautiful work. It really is.
I want to say how much I appreciate the consideration of the student after they leave high school. It seems like every curriculum we listen to, I was hearing, even from the early childhood, I was hearing them moving on, you know, and the vocational especially, but
true.
foreign language,
Absolutely.
the
Well,
reaching out to
thank
other
you.
people. And it's, life does not end when you graduate from high school.
No, each one of us in this room is a student,
Mm-hmm.
and we have been in those seats before. And these children that are in our seats today are going to be doing the same thing.
And the
So-
Lifetime Fitness and the PE
Yeah.
program. Just loved it. It's not all about competition anymore. It's about lifetime fitness.
Thank you very much. Anything else? Okay, appreciate it greatly. Thank you.
Okay, do I have a motion to approve the curriculum guide adoptions for 24-25 as presented?
I move to approve the curriculum adoption as presented for 24-25.
All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? The curriculum, look how easily that did it. It's taken you guys. So, thank you.
Impressive.
Thank you. All right, moving on to item 7.01, the Lewis and Clark Newfoundland Place Homeowners Association Board.
Bye, ladies, thank you.
We have two representatives that sit on that board. Isn't it a 2-year? Yeah. So it's time to elect two to continue. Lori and I have done a bang-up job.
I move to elect Donna and Lori as the board representatives to Lewis and Clark Newfoundland
As a
Place
vote of confidence
Homeowners
on the good job that
Association.
we've done, you want us to continue in that good job.
To that point, there is a lot of communication that's happening. Martin and Steve do it.
Yes.
Through the residents that live there now, that's an existing property, and they have worked, and obviously with the houses, there is a lot of work that is done. The nice thing is they do all the work.
They do all the work, yes. So we're happy to serve.
Yeah, I move to elect Donna and Lori to the Newfoundland Place Homeowners Association for 2 years.
All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Yeah, of course.
Congratulations.
Hey, that was your own choice.
Congratulations.
Congratulations. Okay. Item 7.02, as usual, we have policy changes. These are first readings. Really, I'm not, if there's some discussion on them, most of these were just because we had to change the title of the verbiage. The content and the intent of each one of these policies hasn't changed. It's just changing the title director. Is there any other discussion that, I didn't want to discourage anyone, I'm sorry, but it. No. Okay. Okay, well. Yeah, it was just very, very little changes.
Just tweaks.
Okay, well, that'll come up next month for the second reading. Item 8.01. We have a finance report.
You guys have a lot of energy at 8:40, let me tell you.
Okay, Mr. Shields.
Cooler in here, thanks to you, Mr.
Yeah, people are leaving because they're cold.
Glad I could help. I'm getting a little chilly.
I, for one, have been waiting for this all night. This is the
Yes.
caveat of my day.
Oh, this is,
All right. Well, Chris, if you could go down to year end as of April 2024, I'd appreciate that. Just to take you through a few items with that. Should be the Fund 1 through Fund 4. There we go. I love that one. So Fund 1 and Fund 2, if you total those balances, that gets us to the unrestricted of where we land. So that's going to be about $44,300,000. A lot of money at this point in the year, knowing that we're projecting to spend salaries and benefits a total of about $70 million in total. But what we sometimes need to remind ourselves of is we still have 6 pay periods left through June because we do pay 4 in June. So 4 of our pay periods do account for some of this money. So by the time we do that, the salaries and benefits through the remainder through June 30th, that really is going to probably, plus purchase services and year-end cost, we will more than likely go back down to that 21 million is my estimation. If we do land there, we'll be over that 20%, 21, 22% range, just like we finished the previous year. However, the howevers are always in my mind, right? We have been trending better since January with our health insurance, but we know we're only just a couple of terrible diagnoses away from that changing. So we know in a couple months that could change. We don't want it to, obviously, but we know that could. So that sticks out in my mind. So I never want to say, here's the percent we're going to land on, because there are so many variables and unknowns just in the 60-day period that could jump up and change that pretty quickly. I told you that 70 million mark is about where we'll land with salaries and benefits. That's going to equate to just slightly over 76% of our total budget is spent on salaries and benefits. So that's a good chunk of our money going out to those that have the most influence on our student population. So we like where that number sits. However, that's also, if you look at our local money, which means a lot, that's not just taxes. Our local money pretty much drives our entire budget to the tune of about $80 million. So we get about 15 from the state, and right now we're getting about 6 from federal. So I know that there has been some conversations that there's been increased reliance on federal money. I would say we actually have a decreased reliance on federal money. We have more of an increased reliance on local money. And that brings us to Senate Bill 727 and Senate Bill 190. Senate Bill 190 will take away that local money. To what extent, we still do not know. And Senate Bill 727, we won't feel that impact more than likely this next school year. But once the state money, state budgets, if the people making predictions are correct, the state won't be able to fund it. Just quite frankly, they will not be able to fund all the legislation that's in that bill and all the language that's in that bill. So while I'm confident with where we're at, I also operate from a sense of what if in this position, what if this were to happen, what if that were to happen, you know. So I'm comfortable where we sit right now, but I'm also uneasy for what the future may bring. And I think that's important for us to state. I think it's important for us to state with people listening because, you know, we will have some decisions to make potentially in a couple of years on what direction we want to go in down the road. So salaries and benefits, again, they drive everything. And I think it's important for people to hear that because that's not something that you just easily take away from. You don't take away salaries. Once you have a position, that's one of the things that we like to keep, we like to maintain. Purchase services, yeah, we can pull back from that, no problem. Salaries and benefits, though. So that's where the bulk of our money is spent. That's what we're seeing again this year. No changes with that, no differences with that. But I think that is a highlight. I think by next month, I'll come back and give you a pretty good idea of what I believe will land with the unrestricted fund balance. But again, I'd be surprised if we fall under 20. I'll be surprised. But I would be shocked if we're above 22.5. And to give you an idea, percent change is about $900,000. 1% change is about $900,000. So we're talking big dollars, right? We're talking big dollars. So anyhow, that's it for me with the financial report, unless you guys have any questions.
My only questions were going to be around what you talked about for 727. So I move to approve the district financial report as presented.
All those in favor say aye. Aye. Opposed? The financial report is approved. Do I have a motion to adjourn? I motion to adjourn. All those in favor say aye. Aye. Opposed? We're adjourned. Thank you all.
Thanks, everybody.
Thank you for.